I have selected 5th grade as my grade level. I also know that most 5th graders will be at a level of concrete operations, so I expect them to know how to do certain specific things. The students will learn that thermal energy involves conductors and insulators, and will experiment with a hot plate and a jiffy pop to better understand this concept. We will be using the scientific method during our experiment. We will talk about whether our predictions were accurate or not, and what they learned about in this process. My activity will promote structured learning.
So you guys know how you guys talked about matter a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yes.
And some forms of matter were solid,
Liquid, gas.
gas, right? Okay. So all of these are molecules that are in motion, right? Okay, let's say you guys are a solid, right? Because you guys are just standing still. And then you guys start moving, right? So you guys are putting your molecules into motion. So then what happens? You heat up, right? You start to get hot, and then what happens?
You start.
Sweat, right? So all of those are, so you're going from because of constant movement, you guys are getting heat, right? You guys are getting thermal heat, okay? And heat is caused by an increase in energy. So by the running, you guys start to get hot, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that makes all the molecules in your body to move faster, correct? Okay, so we have insulators, and then we have conductors. So an insulator traps heat, right? Okay, and a conductor right, it transfers heat through matter. Have you guys talked about electrical energy?
Yes.
Okay, so by plugging it in, right,
Yes.
the energy comes into this hot plate and it forms what? Thermal heat. Right, heat. Can you guys think of hypotheses of what's going to happen? No, why do you think the popcorn's going to pop?
Oh, because
it's heat. It's going to heat, right?
Heat.
So then let's just think of a popcorn kernel, right? Just the little kernel, right? And so let's see the molecules inside, right? So once heat starts coming on, it's going to start moving, right? And it's going to make it pop, okay? Turn it on to medium heat. Alright, let's see how it starts to get, what do we call this?
Heat.
Alright, it's a conductor, right? Because it's conducting heat, the kernel. It's conducting heat and it's going to make it pop, alright? Alright, so we have to place it on here. Did you guys hear it?
Yes. It's getting louder.
It's getting hotter, yeah. What happens when it gets hot? What?
The molecules start getting hotter.
Yep. Right. The metal gets hot. It means it's conducting. So when do we say it was a conductor? When it's an insulator, it means you keep your heat, right?
Yes.
But when it's a conductor, it releases heat, right? Can you guys smell that?
Yes.
I can see it. So what happens when it stops popping?
It's already.
It's ready, right?
Yeah.
Miss
Garcia.
Right before we finish, can you guys tell me what was it that happened in what order? But tell me from the beginning. What happened? What's a conductor?
A conductor is something that lets everything, the air
That lets heat out. So what happened with this popcorn? The popcorn was a conductor, right?
Yes.
And it was trapping the heat. The heat came from
The hot plate. The hot plate.
from the hot plate, which is an electrical energy, right?
Yes.
And it heated up. And what do you call that? Thermal.
Thermal heat.
Thermal heat, right. And then the thermal heat was trapped in here, which made the conductor, the popcorn,
Or keeping the
pop, right? Because it got hot. So then what happened to the foil?
it exploded. It was opening.
Right, it expanded. Then you guys get some popcorn.
Yay!